So he doesn't breathe into them, but he creates them in the same way. And he presents them to Adam. And I find this fascinating, he lets Adam name them, and he would abide by whatever Adam calls them. Okay, and I'm not going to get into the theology of that. Maybe I will in some future clips. Who knows? If you guys are interested, again, just shoot us emails and we can answer all sorts of specifics, and I'll try to tease out the different traditions for you. So God takes each animal to Adam to see if it's a sustainer, and he rejects them all. Okay. And it's in that context that I think you have to imagine the snake. Here's the snake who stands upright, because many of you were correct. Many of you are correct that of course he has legs, to which I would say, well, of course he has legs. It would make no sense that his punishment would be crawl on his belly if that's how he is. So of course he has legs, and most likely he's a dragon-like figure. All right. In fact, in ancient iconography, you'll actually see the snake standing on legs around a tree. So please know that. And there's all sorts of, in the Christian tradition, there's all sorts of associations. Sometimes that snake will almost have the face of a lion, because a dragon face or a lion face was often the iconography of the hellmouth. So if in the Christian tradition you have Satan who has embodied the serpent, and he's standing and he looks like a dragon, that's a hellmouth, because that's what Satan rules over. But again, I want to leave all that aside. I just want to deal with the literal here. So imagine this. Adam's trying to find a sustainer, and snake walks up to him. He's like, hey, what's up, Adam? How you doing, man? I mean, you literally have to think of it in this way. Well, maybe he's not so informal. Maybe he has a British accent. I don't know. I'm seduced by British accents, so maybe that's the case. So he's like, hey, like, what can I do for you? And he's standing, and he's looking at him eye to eye. I mean, I imagine he asked him, like, you want to play a game of chess? You want to play some poker? What can we do? Like, hey, I got a joke for you. I mean, this is a pretty incredible being. And it turns out Adam rejects him. He says, no, this is not enough. And that's whenever God puts Adam to sleep, and he takes the rib and he creates Isha, Eve. He creates the woman from the human. So then what are the implications of this if we're reading all of this narrative literally? Which is fun to do, I think. Notice, when I say literally, I don't mean it in a scientific, young earth creationist way. That's not what I mean by literally. When I say literally, what I mean is by the letter. With regards to, if I say literally, that doesn't mean it's opposed to literarily. Any literary reading has to be predicated upon the literal words we have on the page, right? And so this is why I love rabbinic exegesis so much, because they read things literally and they try to tease out all sorts of significance of what's going on there. So literally rejects the standing smart serpent. And so whenever Eve comes along, that means the serpent has been rejected. And Adam says, this one, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, this one shall be called Isha, woman, for from man, Ish, was she taken. There's no etymological link between the two words, but it's just fantastic that the two are linked like that, Isha and Ish. So then what do you have? You have the snake spurned. And this is a smart snake. In fact, Scripture tells us explicitly, the snake was the most cunning animal of the field. So this exegesis essentially sees the snake as being, what would I say, hurt, rejected, envious. Envy enters the garden long before Adam and Eve are there, or long before they desire to be gods. No. According to this reading, envy creeps in whenever the snake has been rejected by Adam. And the snake sees Eve, and the snake is saying, I was rejected for that. That's a better sustainer than what I am? I don't think so. I will show him. I'll show him absolutely and completely